Are there really any pros in buying a mobile home? This is Real Estate Susie channel, and I'm gonna be teaching you everything that I can so that I can make you a better investor, seller, and buyer. Let's get started. Number one is affordability, and that's gonna be the one that takes the crown. Of course, with mobile homes, you're able to get into real estate at a lower entry level point, which is a great pro and one that really attracts people because you're owning an asset. Although it's not land, you're able to gain a little bit of equity, which we'll talk about later. But it's something that is going to grow, and you can find homes starting at really low prices in parks. I know people that have bought it at $20,000, $30,000. I got my first mobile home with my mom at $49,000. So there is really a low entry level point where you can take advantage. They are real fixer-uppers, but you can take advantage of that and do some sweat equity there. Number two is financing. You're able now to get financing through mobile home lenders that are specifically dedicated to mobile homes. And that is a great advantage because nowadays you can get in with as low as 5% and you can put as much as you want as down payment. But it's a great advantage because houses that are from 1976 and newer are able to get those low down payments, even 0% I've seen just recently in one of the mobile home lenders. You're going to have a lower monthly payment with these houses, which is another great advantage. So having houses averaging $300,000, $200,000 up to $400,000 and $500,000 on the higher end. Well, of course, there's even $1 million houses where you will find them in Malibu here in California. The average is about 200 to 350, 400,000. So you'll have lower mortgage payments. I had mentioned before that there are really cheap houses out there that are fixer-uppers. So an advantage with that is that you can buy them cash as well. There are options in layouts for the houses, and you can get them in 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, or 3 bathrooms. You get the gist. So it just depends on what kind of park you're getting your house, because in the old age houses, old age parks, you're gonna get a little bit more bigger houses because they're family oriented, and the other ones that are senior parks, you're gonna get more that are smaller, less rooms, and less bathrooms. Although the lot spaces are smaller than a regular house, you do get to have a front yard, side yards, and even a back patio. And depending on the position where your house is going to be, if you're in the outer areas of the perimeter of the mobile home, sometimes you get even a bigger backyard because they have green belts that allow you to have a little bit more space in the back, even though you can't really do any personalize that space because that's part of the green belt. But you're able to have a little bit more space in the back where you can breathe and feel like you have more space. Also, the side yards have a good space in some parks, not all of them, where you have a little bit more separation from neighbors. And that's something that sometimes in condos you don't have because you're so crammed. And then the back patios are itty bitty where you can't really do much there. Another great perk of living in a mobile home is that mobile home parks are kind of like condos and townhouses that offer amenities like pools, jacuzzis, dining room areas where you can do events. Also, they have billiards and gyms, dog parks, laundry areas if your washer and dryer are not working in your house, and so much more. And even in some instances, the mobile home parks are near trails and parks. So that's another perk where you can go and enjoy the outdoors. Not all mobile home parks are made the same. There are mobile home parks that have all ages allowed, and there are some senior ones. Senior ones start from 55 over, and there are advantages and disadvantages in each of those. That was hard to say, but we'll talk about those later. That was hard. And great news, guys. Even though you're not going to be gaining equity as a single family home, you are going to be gaining some equity. And it just depends on the area where you live, the kind of park that you live in, and the conditions of the park. That really matters. As a bonus, I just want to encourage you to not have fear and to get creative. Getting into the real estate game with a mobile home is something that is still going to gain equity, like I was telling you before, and it's going to help you to get yourself a step higher into the real estate game. Barbara Corcoran says having a door, or it's kind of like having a card when you're playing cards. You have a card, you have something in your hand, you can trade it off for another card, which might be even a better one. So it's a step forward, and that is no small feat. So let me just give you an example with me and my family. We bought a house. It was the mobile home. It was a 1968 mobile home, fixer upper, totally fixer upper, and we started fixing it, just getting knowledgeable about how to get it fixed. A lot of sweat equity in that house, but man, did it pay off. We were able to sell it 3 years later, and we sold it for $131,000, I think. That allowed us to come into our next home, which is also a mobile home, and we bought it for 100 and I think it was like 26,000. What we got from the first house, which was way older, was enough for us to come and buy this new house, which we bought for 126,000. We paid all our closing costs with that, and it was just like to the dollar, everything that we had gained, we put into this new house. But this new house is a 2004. It has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. The other one was only 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And now we have another trading card that we can go into the next step, which hopefully is going to be a bigger house and a single family house, or maybe a condo. I don't know. But we're working towards getting that next step. And that's what I encourage you to do as well. Another pro with this whole thing about what the house is worth and everything is that you have low property taxes. Houses like this, mobile homes, have property taxes of like $300-400 a year, which is really minimal compared to what you pay in a regular single family house. So each county and city is going to be different. So go ahead and check out what those taxes are going to be for your area specifically. But I encourage you, buyers, sellers, investors, to just keep asking, keep acquiring knowledge as well. Ask your realtor, they should be able to tell you, and also just give you a general knowledge of what's gonna be happening, how much you're gonna be paying. Because when I started with my first mobile home, we didn't even know we had to pay taxes on on that thing. We kind of like got first one was a senior place. We never paid the taxes. So when we came into our new house, we didn't know that we had to pay taxes until this bill came. If we didn't have that in the mail, what would have happened? My realtor never told me what I needed to do, and that there was like all these things. And of course, you need to know on your own. And that's why I'm encouraging you guys to learn, because it's very important. And I'm telling you now so that you can learn. So now you know that there are taxes. Find out, because there are different instances where you don't pay taxes. And that was the first case where the park that and I think the type of mobile home that we had was so old that it didn't pay taxes that way. So you can protect your mobile home with insurance, and that is a great thing, because anyways, if you're gonna have financing, they're gonna ask you to have insurance. And that usually comes from them with the lender. They have their own insurance company and they connect you there, and it's part of the payment. But in case you have paid cash, you can also check those mobile home lenders to see if they can insure your house and offer you that service. And I'm gonna link some of those lenders down here below that I know that give you the insurance service. Another great thing is that parks do their own background checks and also their credit checks. And that is kind of like a layer of insurance that the people that are going to be living in the park are going to be of good, with a good history. For you pet lovers out there, there are no pet fees. You can have, I think, up to 2 dogs. You have to check with the park. Each park is different, and also the size. So depending on what the park rules are, you can get your pet there, and there might be a limit, but that's just going to prevent you from becoming that cat lady or cat guy. How do you say that? Another good thing is that if you ever need to move the structure, you can do so because it is your personal asset. So you can move it out. There are companies that do that service, and you just have to ask the park. Sometimes they make you sign the contract and they ask you not to move it, or they tell you that you can't move it. So just always check when you're doing your buying process what the park rules are, what they're asking you, what you're signing as well. Be always very inquisitive and ask what you're signing. Not just sign anything away because you need a house. You need to know what the rules are, and if you are willing to accept those. And then homes from about 80s or 90s, I would say more from the 90s up. Those are very modern houses that have, as you can see, drywall, and they have insulation, and that means that you're gonna have your cost of electricity, heating, and cooling is gonna be way lower. Some of the houses have air conditioning, central air conditioning, the same as heating, and so that's a great perk. Or you can also use mini splits in the houses, and that's another great option for cooling your house that is not as expensive and that can allow you to have air conditioning in your mobile home. And if you want to know what the cons of living in mobile homes are, go ahead and check out the video right here. This is where I'll reveal all of the dark secrets of living in mobile homes. Don't forget to subscribe, like, I'll see you there.